when I was growing up, Karate Kid was a big thing. It's not just MMA, although that's probably the thing I religiously watch. But the places I've been, which is UK and Thailand, it's obviously more popular and it's probably a bigger sport over there at the moment. Then I came to India 6 years ago, really struggled to find a place to train. I think I run it for about a month and got about 120 responses. I was like, well, let's open something up because there's nothing near to where I live. So that's how I started and how Cobra Thai started. So I started doing martial arts when I was about 6 years old. I did karate like most kids did from a young age. Did it for about 12 to 13 years. Then I became a teenager, discovered other things in life like ladies and just kind of going out and enjoying myself. So I stopped it for a little while. And then as I kind of got into like probably 18, 19 years old, I then started boxing a little bit and started doing a bit of kickboxing. So I've always been into it for a long time. But then probably the last 10 years, I really got heavily into it, and it was probably my coach, Tony, that got me back into combat sports really heavily, who's my kind of Thai boxing coach back in the UK. And that's it. And then I came to India 6 years ago, really struggled to find a place to train locally that I kind of enjoyed training with. Was put in touch by Anil Mehta, who's in the Thailand scene in Thai Muay Thai, who I met in Thailand. He told me about Sanjavan and Fit and Fight Club. So I ended up going to Fit and Fight Club at the weekends from Pune to just do a little bit of training with some of the guys there. And that's kind of how Cobra Thai then started, because I didn't really want to have to travel 3 or 4 hours every weekend just to do some MMA. So I was like, well, let's open something up because there's nothing near to where I live. So that's how I started and how Cobra Thai started. I think obviously outside of India, not all places, but the places I've been, which is UK and Thailand, it's obviously more popular and it's probably a bigger sport over there at the moment. Within India, it's a growing sport. It's growing everywhere, all around the world, but I think India, obviously, we're really kind of, it's starting to pick up now, thankfully. And I think that's probably the difference you see in some of the gyms as well. So you'll get fighters that are probably a bit more experienced. However, I have to say I've been super impressed with the gyms that I've worked with or been a part of in India. Especially speaking Fit and Fight Club, I think Sanjavan and his team have got fantastic fighters there and trainers and coaches, which is why we've partnered with them and we work together. So I mean, look, there's always going to be pros and cons, but you always pick up new things from being in a different place as well. So I'm sure if there was fighters that came over from the UK or from Thailand and came and trained with some good fighters in India, they'll learn things and vice versa. I think we first looked at something really small. I know this place is not huge, but I think it's a good size to start off for an MMA gym. The first steps were to have a look at locations, also to see if there was an appetite for it. So I did set up a very basic Google ad and Facebook, Instagram ad, with a landing page, just to test to see if people would be interested in MMA in and around karate in Pune. So I think I run it for about a month and got about 120 responses. I was like, you know what, that's enough for me just to kind of tell me that we've got something of interest. So that was kind of how it started and how I got started with opening it up. Yeah, I mean, as you guys are here, you can see that it's kind of, I don't know really what you call it, like a rooftop, but it's been covered quite well. When I was looking, because I've been to Thailand a few times, I really like the setup over in Thailand for Muay Thai gyms, where it's very open. So you kind of generally don't have covers along the sides. You just have like your main roof, and it just lets some of that natural air come through. I quite like that style. So we always looked for something similar, but it was really difficult to find, and we had to think about monsoon. So we ended up finding this place. As you can see, there's quite a lot of windows, which at the very beginning we were going to just leave completely open, and we weren't going to bother putting any windows in at all. But realised actually because of monsoon we probably need to. So yeah, finding a place wasn't too difficult. It was more about finding the right size to start off. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was the only advertising I've done since we've started. I've done no advertising whatsoever. We set up a social media page. That was pretty much it. I used to do a bit of podcasting, so I kind of know how to set up and do a bit of recording. So I set up a YouTube channel, but we not really posted anything on there yet. But everything's kind of set up from a social media perspective. We just haven't driven any traffic towards it yet. So it's all been kind of word of mouth, really, in terms of the customers that we have at Cobra Thai at the moment. But I'm looking for, after this event, to maybe start doing a bit more advertising and marketing. We've now been established since sort of February, so it's not been that long really. So I think we're ready to now start doing a little bit of marketing. Now we've got an established team. We've got some guys that have obviously fought already under the Cobra Thai banner. Yeah, so obviously we've got a great team. As you guys probably already know, Chaitanya, Pratamesh, Latesh and Mohsin, who kind of work with us as well. We then also got Ankit, who's one of our customers, who's one of the team. He's already competed for us a few times now. So I think there's two things that I've noticed is you get people that come to the gym to just train, maybe learn some new skills, get fit. And then you get some people that are maybe interested in the fighting aspect of it, but that's not for everyone. So I think that's the bit that you, as a gym owner, you almost have to cater to a little bit as well, is for those that are not interested in the fighting aspect of it, but they like to learn maybe for self-defense or because they just enjoy the sport in general. So the fight team, I'd like to grow as we keep growing. But yeah, I think that will come in time. And yes, we are looking to expand locations as well, probably sticking within Pune for the time being. But I think probably within the next 6 to 12 months, hopefully we'll have another branch maybe. I'd say combat sports is the only thing I really follow in terms of sports. And it's not just MMA, although that's probably the thing I religiously watch. I enjoy Dutch boxing, which is, some of these guys know, that's probably more my style as well as a fighter. Thai boxing, obviously, boxing. I like all combat sports, honestly. I play a bit of football on a Wednesday with some of the guys that I work with, but I'm a shit footballer. I actually only started playing football when I moved to India 6 years ago. I'm not a normal UK lad who likes football, so. Really, I'd say they're the only things that I kind of do. I got into badminton recently. Yeah, I like hiking. They're the things that I kind of enjoy activity-wise. But combat sports is the thing I love the most. So they can go to our website, which is www.cobra-thai.com. They go to our social media pages, which is generally Cobra Thai, all one word. Or they can phone us up. I haven't got the phone number in front of me right now, but you can find it on the website. Yeah, you reach out to us. I think there's a couple of phone numbers available. So one of them's directly to myself, and one of the other ones is for the team over here in the gym. But yeah, we're happy to speak to people. We always give 2 free classes because we know it's quite new and different for a lot of people. So, you know, I wouldn't ever charge somebody. If you don't like it, don't pay, it's fine. That's why we give 2 free classes to everybody that comes in. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Cobra Kai, the TV series, but it's basically come from that. I quite liked Cobra Kai as a TV series. It brought me back as a child to Karate Kid because I'm about 37 years old. So when I was growing up, Karate Kid was a big thing. Obviously, Cobra Kai came out, so it's a bit of a knockoff of Cobra Kai. But I changed it because I've been to Thailand a few times, and I think the sport that got me back into combat sports like 10, 12 years ago was Thai boxing. So we linked it up with Cobra Thai. Plus, we're in India and you get cobras. So it all fits together nicely.